This is Curious Brain Farts.
We welcome you on our curious brain fart journey today.
What is a curious brain fart?
A curious brain fart is something that pops into your brain unprompted, often. Sometimes it brews for a while, and you just have a thought about something. And that's really all we're doing. We're talking about things that we have thought about, topics that we find interesting. And maybe you will too.
If you'd like to get involved, then why not drop us an email to curiousbrainfarts@gmail.com with any of your thoughts and ideas on something you'd like us to get curious about.
Hello.
All right?
Good day to you.
Bon dia.
Obrigado.
Bless you. Yes, I like avocado.
Same. It's one of my faves.
Other languages are available.
Indeed. And how are you this fine day?
Well, I'm all right, yeah. Hydrated. Might need a wee in a bit. You know.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
It's amazing.
And how about you?
Yes, I am very well, thank you. It's quite cold today, so I have a lovely blanket on over my legs like an old grandma to keep me warm.
Well, splendid. That's great.
So Paul,
What?
pray tell, what topic shall we talk about today?
We need like a random generator noise. You know what I mean? So we can have some sort of sound effect that would play round about now.
Random theme generator. Random theme generator.
That would be the random generator.
Interesting.
Helpful cue. And then Amanda on the laser scoreboard could, in fact, using our AI, we've got a generative AI assistant called Amanda, who is amazing. Amazing Amanda.
Amazing Amanda, in fact, yes.
And she tends to be the one that spits out these ideas for us.
Yes.
So I'm just going to enter the configuration now.
Thank you.
Please hold. It's quite a complicated process. Okay. Great. So, this is an obvious one. Cruise ships.
Cruise ships.
I, for one, am really excited about this.
I've been on a sum total of 0. That is 0 cruise ships in my life. How about you?
Loads. Well, on. Yes, 0. Good. Okay.
I've been on some ferries, if that helps you.
I've rowed a boat and been on a ferry. And it was the ferry was cruising.
I've been on a hovercraft.
When does the ferry become a ship?
So what is it?
I mean, we're asking difficult questions.
So my understanding of a cruise ship is it's a hotel on water.
That'll do. I'll tell you what, you keep talking and we'll find out the definition.
So it's this massive vessel. You've got thousands of people on it. It's your captive audience because you're in the middle of sea. And therefore you have to provide all the food, the drink, the entertainment. It's not like they can go anywhere.
So if you remember, one of our fabulous listeners emailed in saying, hey, it'd be really great if you could start with the definition.
It's a shame we didn't do that. So we've rambled somewhat already.
And so let's define this.
Go.
Oxford, England, here we are. This is quite, you're going to be shocked by this.
Okay, go.
A large ship.
Is that it?
No. That carries people on voyages for pleasure, typically calling in at several places.
Right.
I also like the little examples. The couples enjoyed fine dining aboard the cruise ship.
Mm.
So, a large ship that carries people on voyages for pleasure, typically calling in at several places. Wow. Let's get curious. Interesting.
The thing I'm interested in about cruise ships is...
That you've just discovered you're interested in.
Well, I was just thinking, I know someone who's gone on many, many, many cruises. Like, you look around, where are they? They're on another cruise. I mean, they do it all the time. And they have been, they're so well travelled as a result.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well fed.
yeah. And so these places, not only are they catering to your every need, entertainment of all different kinds of food, swimming pools, activities coming out your eyeballs, they also take you to interesting places. And so there's almost zero effort required. You don't have to schlep up and down the place. They just deliver you to the port and off you toddle. And so that maybe the ease of that appeals to people. But think about, I'm just thinking about hotels and that they're floating hotels, and that then I was doing some work with some luxury hotel brands, and you know the whole upstairs downstairs vibe with a hotel, the way it's presented front of house is extremely different to the conditions that the staff have. And I wondered the extent to which that is true on a cruise ship, and the confined quarters must be even more so.
Maybe.
Because you're going to give the lion's share of the space, surely, to the paying guests. And so you're this team who can't get off. Stop this ride, I want to get off, and he can't. You're in potentially confined quarters, difficult working conditions, and you're in this service industry where you're at the beck and call of... I mean, that's not an easy dynamic.
And you're away for a long time.
Maybe weeks and months, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, there are some people on the entertainment side who have then made a name for themselves because you've got a captive audience for a few weeks. I'm here again.
Oh, it's there again.
God.
Wasn't there that bird, that lady?
Great.
Woman.
Who? Good remembering. Yes.
There was a documentary about cruise ships here in the UK on the telly box.
And something the listeners are now going to be getting familiar with is the quality of our recall. Because we love to reference things that you and I sort of roughly know, and we can't offer any detail for anyone else to join in.
I think her name is Jane something.
That'll do. I'll take that.
And she's now on daytime TV here.
Oh.
And she was discovered, she's now a TV personality type person, and she was discovered as a singer on board one of these cruise ships. So, and I don't know the extent to which this is true. Go on, he's Googled it, everyone.
Cruising with Jane McDonald.
Jane McDonald, everybody.
And she was one of those singer types.
So maybe it's a good launch pad for an entertainment career, I don't know.
Yeah.
To fine-tune your skills.
And because it is sort of like a full-time job, you're living where you're working, I imagine it's paid better than if you were in a hotel.
Yes.
Because you can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And yeah, there must be... in fact, I saw something a long time ago where these were more performers who were working on a particular, like a high wire show or something on a cruise ship.
Blimey.
Crazy. Crazy.
I'm thinking, how do you? But they do have like proper auditoriums, don't they?
Well, they've got ruddy, great big swimming pools, and
Mm,
it's mad. It's like if you look overboard, you'll see there's a massive body of water there.
mm. Just jump in.
Yeah,
It's actually
jump in.
you're quite high up, aren't
Quite
you?
a long way. Quite a long way to the water.
Man overboard, woman
Mm.
overboard.
Another thing that popped into my head is, for some people, that going on a cruise is actually cheaper than like a residential care home. So not if you've got like medical needs.
No.
However, if you're elderly and you find the upkeep of a house difficult or whatever, instead of moving into one of those residential homes where you have a room, you can actually, it's about the same price as to go on a cruise. So you can literally travel all year. And then you get off and then you just rebook yourself back on again. There are people that do that.
Are there?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Why not? I mean, you get down to
Yeah.
like better food, I would imagine.
Yeah.
No
And-
disrespect, obviously, to those in care homes. Just budgets might be tighter.
well, yeah, and you can make friends with all sorts of different people,
Yeah.
and there might be a group of regulars that become your buds, your pals, and well, I mean, the other thing I think is that it's interesting, isn't it? How there's this kind of like, oh, I would never do that. You see, I would never go on a cruise. You know what that is? It's this interesting thing, like where we go, you see, no, that's not for me, and that because we don't want to do it, which is fine. No one says you have to go on a flipping cruise, but because we don't want to do it, we then have to knock it down
Yeah.
and make it less than.
Because that helps to support your position,
Yeah,
your decisions. It justifies your decisions. So it's from a place of judgment, not curiosity.
exactly. I think that they're massive pills because I would rather spend the same amount of money, probably more money, on an Airbnb in Tuscany, for example. That doesn't make me a better person.
No.
It just means I like to go on a different kind of holiday. And yet we need to somehow,
Pass judgment.
in order to make ourselves, to build ourselves up.
Mm-hmm. A neighbour of mine, him and his wife used to love going on cruises, and she recently passed away, and we were having a celebration at their house, and there were pictures of them on cruises. And one of the things I hadn't thought about, I don't know why, was the privilege of being invited to the captain's table, which is different to being in a hotel, because you've got that nautical aspect to it. There are ranks, there's hierarchy.
That's true.
You don't go and sit at the general manager's hotel table at a Premier Inn. Do you know what I mean? Because there isn't one.
Yeah, mainly because
Just go in the office. All right, can I have my breakfast in here, please? So, I mean, other hotels are available. So, yeah. There's that whole side of it as well, the seafaring bit, the more adventurous. Like in the definition, it uses the word voyage. You're not going on you're not sailing from one place or going from one place to another. You're voyaging.
Yeah, because back in the day, that was the of course the way of getting around, wasn't it?
That's where posh comes from. Because you see, the people who had money, who didn't want to get a tan, would pay more to go port out, starboard home.
Is that right?
Yeah. So you pay more money, and that way you stay out of the sun.
Yeah, because if you had a tan,
We're
you're
reet common.
rate common. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that. Port out, starboard home. Huh. So it's actually it's shifted and moved from something that was just how you got from A to B. If you're going, aviation wasn't a thing. So if you wanted to cross a body o' water, you had to do it on you had to voyage, you had to
Yeah.
do it on a boat. And it's gone from being that commonplace thing that lots of people did to, in not that many years, something that's purely for leisure.
Yeah.
And leisure and pleasure, whereas it was just, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
That shift.
I just quickly Googled cruise ship CO2 emissions versus aviation.
Oh yeah.
That's another angle. Is
More
it better?
more sustainable.
Cruise ships emit more carbon per passenger kilometre than flying.
Oh,
Who'd have thunk it?
oops. It's all the entertainments and I wouldn't have thunk it actually.
Yeah. There's not much info on it online. Well, on the first page of Google. You know, other search engines are available.
So the things that strike me about cruise ships are my instant leap to judgment
Yeah.
about it.
Yep.
Which, you know, got to check myself before I wreck myself on that one.
Yep.
And the fact that I've got absolutely no experience, then my curiosity, easy for me to say, about the dynamics of how they actually do their jobs under those conditions, which I would imagine are much more challenging than in a normal hotel kind of service environment.
Yeah, and whether it's space or not, it's the fact that you need to be fully self-sufficient. So, you know, you're going to need to have a little, well, not a little medical bay. You'll probably need a reasonably sophisticated one. You know, you'll need to have huge storage and all sorts of stuff because you need fresh whatever for however long.
Yeah, they're not going to want to eat ship's biscuits with weevils in, are they?
No. No, absolutely not. I wonder if they have, like, police or something on there.
Oh.
Well, if you've got medical...
Can't the captain marry you?
well,
not you personally. You're
it's
not
quite
that
forward.
You're not that way.
And need to buy me a drink first.
But normal rule, to your point about police, like maritime rules and doings and laws, and they're different.
Easy with the details, Louise.
Gosh, I feel like we just are curious about the people bits of a cruise ship 'cause we don't know anything else about cruise ships.
Well, their design is very interesting.
Is it though?
No, it is super interesting. Because they've obviously got, you know, stabilization technology so that you don't get seasick unless it's really choppy. In fact, do you remember that Italian skipper drove one into land by accident? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'll just give you a quick drive-by." Got a wee bit close and
Ooh, heck.
grounded it.
I've just looked up cruise ship jobs.
Great. Wow.
There are, let's just say, guys, there are a lot of jobs on cruise ships. IT jobs, casino, medical, entertainment, childcare, all sorts. You name it,
So it's like
they need it.
it's a mini economy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need an entire infrastructure.
Yep. I remember actually when I was travelling many years ago. Here's a cruise ship story for you, everybody.
Oh, hold on. It's cruise ship story time. Cue the jingle.
I was travelling in Honduras,
Bless
and
you.
one of the beautiful islands in the Caribbean, really very beautiful, and the sand, unfortunately, on this beautiful beach with this lovely coral reef, it was full of sandflies. And if you've ever been bitten by a sandfly, they are nasty pasty. So we've been there for about a week, and the locals, you had to go in a little boat to get to this beach, and you know you just pop in a little local person's boat and they zoom you around. But what happened with regularity was a cruise ship would drop anchor. Stop it now. And then they would ferry people over on these launches
Yeah.
to this beautiful beach so they could snorkel and look at the beautiful coral reef. Now, the locals had told us, put your sun cream on and then put coconut oil over the top so that the sandflies can't get through that layer. And they
Wow.
also said, just sit on the jetty, not on the actual sand.
Yeah.
So we were there with our with all of our doings, watching these hundreds of people from this cruise ship
Oh no.
sit on the sand.
And get nibbled.
We did say to some of them, but they really weren't keen to hear us. So in the end, we thought, right, well,
Right.
just get munched then.
Yeah.
Fair play. And so they were all ferried across, snorkel, munch, ferried back. And it was just very facilitated. It was very, they didn't need to, like I was saying earlier about the ease of it all. It's like a package holiday.
Yeah.
In
it is.
that sense, isn't it?
I guess it is, because you choose to go on excursions or not.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, that was a fascinating story, first of all. And second of all, who would have thought cruise ships were so curious?
I have to say, I admire people who work in that setting. I take my captain's hat off to them. Not that I'm the captain of the cruise ship, can you imagine?
No. No. Dunk! Ugh. Do you remember that Suez Canal incident where that ship ended up sideways?
Oh, yeah. You saying that would be me if I was in charge, Rude?
I didn't say that. But now you mention it.
Harsh but fair. The my only other boating experience is punting, which we got very told off by these people who were trying to run a regatta because we were not in full control of that boat.
You weren't pleasant punters.
No, we really weren't, and they were vibrant with their feedback there.
Were they? Were they clear?
They were clear and concise with their thoughts.
Well, maybe we can talk punting another time. Great. Wow, cruise ships, hey?
Curious.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It was amazing. Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Curious Brain Thoughts.